these hard times, if there is one thing that many have missed out, is that Ukraine has its own cultural capital. And in one way that the Ukrainians have also spoken is through their art. What you see right now is also a depiction of the current times of what Ukrainians have essentially gone through. There has been a large-scale displacement. A lot of Ukrainians who are going through troubled times, they have to leave their homes, pack their entire memories in one suitcase and perhaps leave their own homeland. Joining me is a lady who's now a volunteer, who's helping this place, which was part of a monastery, to run as sort of a refugee camp, trying to provide food for all the refugees. Oksana, thank you very much for speaking to Republic Media Network. Let me begin by asking you, you've chosen to be here in Ukraine, not leave your homeland, feeding all people who are coming to your home, to your city, to ensure that there is some sort of a solace that could be given. Where do you actually get that sort of courage? Where are you deriving your courage from?
Thank you. It's my land. If we do not do that, who will do that? We have to survive, and we will do everything we can to help other people survive who have had to come from their homes here to the west of the country, and we need to help them feel some comfort, to feel that they are loved here, that they can have a little rest here before they decide about their destiny, about their future. Yeah. And it's absolutely normal. There was no other option just to stay here and help them.
While we also just walk down and try and show it to all our viewers of what you and your friends are doing, trying to feed all people who are coming here, I want to ask you this, Oksana. Over the last few days, what we have witnessed unfolding before our eyes is large-scale destruction on almost all cities of Ukraine. You must be having your friends in other parts of Ukraine. What's the situation like? Have you been able to speak to some of your friends? How difficult has it been for most of the Ukrainians at this point in time?
Yes, we are facing the dreadful challenge, and I'm very sorry for my friends that are on the east of the country, but some of them have come here to stay here with small kids, with their families, but surprisingly, a lot of them are going back to Kyiv, and while the border, we are close to the western border of the country, while people are leaving, normally women with kids, at the same time we have the figures that something close to 100,000 men are coming back to Ukraine. They used to work in Europe, but they are now coming back to Ukraine.
As you can see, we are part of a small dining area for a lot of refugees who are coming in, and food is being prepared constantly so that people can be fed. Remember, that's one big challenge that I also have witnessed here, because a large number of people are coming in. There's a huge displacement that's taking place. So I want to talk a little bit about how you're running this entire service of providing food. Many would say that the supplies would be running out very soon. In Kiev, we are given to understand perhaps supplies would be for another 10 days. So how are you meeting up with the challenge of providing food to so many people?
First of all, we are receiving humanitarian support from European countries. We still have our own kind of food here. We will see what will happen next, but we are definitely oriented that we will do our best to help survive people, to get their essential needs met. And speaking about this place, this is actually the restaurant and the art gallery run by one of the artists in Lviv. And the initiative appeared just all by itself. Okay. There was a need, and we decided that this time restaurant will be...
You're opening it up for anyone who comes to your place right now and they need some help, they need some food, so you're just opening up the doors for them.
Yes, definitely. And for the refugees, for those who need this warm place, this very nice, very tasty and healthy local food, and among those who are serving as volunteers in the kitchen, you will find artists, sculptors, film directors, scientists, actually whoever, including myself. I also served here from like 11 till 5 every day, and we are making food. And as you see, as people may come and we see that they need, we invite them, they get their food, they may have here some rest. And that's the small piece, a tiny piece of something we can do to our citizens.
I'm sure, Oksana, these are very, very challenging times for everyone around you, your family members, your friends, people who are here currently. Can I then ask you this question? In terms, when you hear the kind of political talks that are taking place about the future of Ukraine, what should be the future of Ukraine? And many would say that, as Russia wants it to put out, that it's part of one Russia, or you're talking about the same cultural nationalism. How do you look at someone who's been so intertwined with the culture of this country? How do you look at when these kind of talks actually take place and when talking about one Russia?
I just want to say the following. The whole world is now witnessing that Russia's politics is lies. That Russia is lying, was lying, and actually lies is the main instrument they are using, threatening and lies. And Ukraine, as you can see now, is totally different country, is totally independent nation. The world has to realize that all you know about Ukraine, all you've heard or read about Ukraine, you did it through Russian lens. Actually, the world just does not know anything about Ukraine. And this war will help to take away those Russian lens and look at us as we are.
So you, along with a lot of other Ukrainians, you will not be deterred with the kind of aggression that has been shown by the Russians. Cities after cities are being destroyed. What is it that you would like to tell everyone who's watching you today? The world would be watching you. What is it that you would like to tell them?
We will not give up fighting. This is our country. This is our country with rich history, with wonderful, talented and brilliant people who know how to survive, who know how to fight, who know how to call enemy the enemy. And whatever happens to us, we will not give up. The world, please do hear, we, Ukraine, we are independent nation. Our history is connected to Russia, but mainly through wars and Russian lies. You have to remember this.
One final question, Oksana, before I let you go, because there are many people, you will still want to ensure that food is given to everyone, reaches everyone on time. So one final question that I want to ask you. We are seeing large number of men who are staying back in Ukraine right now. They have picked up arms, and this at a time when many would say that Ukraine is going through a very challenging time because the West, as promised, may not have fulfilled all the promises as yet. Do you believe that even no matter what happens, whether there's support or there isn't, Ukraine will still continue with the war at any cost?
Yes, we have that in our history. When Ukraine was taken over by the Soviet Union, the western part of the country had a wonderful, unique in the history of the world experience of partisan, of how to say it, of fighting in woods and hidden places. We will continue fighting, of course. Speaking about the West and their support of Ukraine, I personally do understand a lot why the West is taking the position they are taking now. I can understand that. I would like to thank them for everything they are providing to us, including weapons. I know that the sanctions that they have imposed over Russia will definitely change a little bit of the life of the regular Westerner, maybe a little bit less comfort, maybe some higher prices, but it's not the war between Ukraine and Russia. It's the war between civilized world and corrupted, evil place. If you want, I may use a lot of Bible words, But actually, we are now we are now seeing the changing world. And if you want to look into the eyes of a devil, you look into Putin's eyes. All that you will read in Bible or in any other religious books, you will always read about evil, which is described as cruelty, lies, temptations, and you have all that with Russia connected today. So whatever happens, we will not give up. We may be destroyed, but we will not give up.
We wish you all the very best, and as we've always been saying through our reports, that it's time for the world to stand for the Ukrainians. We're just hoping that you, your family members, and everyone in Ukraine remain safe. Thank you very much for speaking to Republic Media Network. And remember, the number is only increasing. With every passing day, the number of refugees that you are going to witness in city after city only keeps increasing. With video journalist Surendra Singh Rawat, this is Shaban Sen for Republic TV.